Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Little Sparks of Inspiration. Today I'm here to share a fun way to create buttons using fabric and vinyl. Materials you will need. Today I'm using the We Are Memory Makers button press along with a few other items to complete this project. Let's get started. So I love making buttons, and recently I've been making a variety of buttons, different materials or items such as the traditional mylar finish, but also with like magnetic backing. And I've also tried a few with the holographic adhesive sheets. As you can see, here's what those adhesive sheets will look like. They just give like a very nice shimmer or sparkle when the light hits it. So here's another one. And then here's another one. Just love those. Love that effect. But lately I've been really enjoying these fabric buttons that I've been making. I've been combining fabric with a flock vinyl sheets. And so this is kind of what they look like. Maybe it's difficult to kind of see the full effect that it gives it, but it has a little bit more of a three-dimensional finish. So I really enjoy that. And so some of the fabric I've been using actually is from a curtain that I wasn't using, and instead of going out and buying fabric, I decided to give it a different use. And so normally before I start, I'll spray my fabric with the Aleen's Quick and Stiff spray, and this helps give the fabric a little bit more of a paper-like finish, which makes it a little bit easier to work with. So normally spray it, and if I'm not going to make my buttons right away, I'll usually like let it dry, but I do notice it works best if you iron it, and then it gives it a nice stiffer finish. So we'll just wait till my iron heats up a little bit, and then we can continue. Also, the ironing helps. Like if you are going to do your buttons on the same day that you cut your fabric and you sprayed it, the iron helps speed up the drying process, especially an iron like the Cricut mini press where you don't have any steam. So it dries it up quicker. So for this video, we're going to use the small die cuts from the button press for We Are Makers, and that makes this button right here. So I'll also make two just in case I mess one up. So I think my iron is ready. And I like using the Cricut mini press just because it doesn't have any steam and it helps dry the fabric quicker too. So just give it a couple of passes and it should be good to go. again, for this video, I decided to use the button press. I have used it a couple of times before, and I've used the die cuts to actually cut the fabric. But I think moving forward, I was thinking of creating maybe the different templates for each size and just trace it onto my fabric. I'm hoping that this will help prevent my blades from getting dull. So like if I wanted to continue to use them on paper, it'll actually still work. So, I mean, it did cut, but I think I just want to be able to trace it and cut it with scissors instead of using the machine, because I do have to press a couple of times in order to cut through the fabric. So as you can see, I make a press and I'm like holding down on it. But I mean, it did. It cut through, and I did have to snip a couple of pieces just to detach the circle from the fabric. Plus, I just don't think it's meant to cut fabric, so it's mostly, it does okay with paper. But even for that, I'm thinking of getting maybe some paper punches in the sizes of the circles that it normally comes with. So, which I think would have been a good idea to include with this set. Like instead of those die cuts, maybe include the punches for each circle size or shape, because I know that they also have like square, and then there's a heart, and there's also an oval. So I think punches would work best. All right, so we have our two circles, and let's get ready to start assembling the different parts of this. Let's go ahead and put away the base. And these are the two die cuts. And each one, the base and the top, are labeled with an A and a B. And the machine has a couple of arrows, one for the base and one for the top. And so we're supposed to line those letters up with those arrows. So we would start off with A, which is like step one. And so you see me here trying to attach the base and turning it so it's facing the arrow on the A side, and then the same thing with the top one. I'm struggling a little bit to put this one on just because I can't see, and I didn't want to put my head in the way of the camera. But normally it's not this difficult. It's pretty easy. But since I can't see what I'm doing, I had to try a couple of times to get that attached. But the goal is to put the top portion and turn it so it's aligned with the arrow, and it's on the A side as well. So we start off with A for the base and A for the top portion. Okay, looks like I finally got it. Here's kind of what it would look like, and here's a better view. So here you can see that when you start off, once you place your pieces inside, you want to align everything. And then when you do the second part, which is going to be the backing of the button, you want to align everything to B, and then you press it. So I learned this the hard way because I didn't have them aligned when I first tried making buttons with this machine, and I ended up jamming the base to the actual machine. It still worked. Fortunately, I didn't really do a lot of damage, but I did break my medium one, but it still works. And so here you see me putting the top part of the button with the fabric. And I'm not using any Mylar for this one because I want to give it that 3D finish. So, and see how now when I open it up, it doesn't have that fabric in there because it's attached to the top portion of the die cut. And so now we're going to do the backing. For the backing, you have to make sure that you are lining up your pin that's on the back side with a indentation that's on the die cut. So everything should sort of line up as well. So there's a line that goes across the top of the die cut, and it should cross the path of the pin as well. And then once again, you got to make sure that you turn your, I don't think I did, but you have to turn your settings to B. And let's see. Yep, there it is. It did do it. All right, here we go. And that's what it will look like. So for the most part, it does a good job at taking the fabric. And so I'm going to do a second one. And this one, I'm just going to go speed up the video a little bit. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm a neat crafter. I gotta put everything away, otherwise I get overwhelmed. Okay, so now we're gonna get ready to add the vinyl. This one, by the way, is flocked vinyl, so it has a little bit more of a almost like a velvet finish. And so to start off, I like to pin it onto the ironing mat, and this helps get started. But to be honest with you, I hadn't really done these small ones. This was really just like my third time doing this baseball theme. And so I didn't want to add the stitching to the fabric until the end because I wanted the stitching to sort of wrap around the button, and I was afraid that if I attach that first while I put it into the machine that it might not grasp the fabric because it might have been too thick. So I took a chance and decided to do it this way, which was also a little challenging because that iron was really close to my finger. So, and but it worked out. Almost burned myself there. And here's me trying the second one. Yeah, just if you do this one, just be extra careful with that iron. Normally the other ones I don't struggle as much because normally it just goes right on top, but because I wanted it to wrap around the sides of the button, it became a little bit more of a hazard. All right, and then I'm just checking to make sure everything adhere, and I think I needed to just add a little bit more heat to the ends so it could completely adhere to the fabric. Guys, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Here is a closer view. And also, do you have a favorite style or technique when making these buttons? Thanks for watching, and bye for now.